What's happening, Organigram traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. It is Wednesday, March 27th. Happy Hump Day. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Organigram. We're going to take a look at the chart and the technicals. I'll do some analysis, give my thoughts and opinions on the price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. As always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say. And as always, you have to buy something because you want to buy it. But Organigram, full disclosure, I hold it in my long-term portfolio. Stock was down about 30% today after they had news of dilution raising $25 million. And there's some other news that we want to talk about as well with regards to the U.S. And like I said, toward the end, we'll take a look at the technicals and I'll give my thoughts and opinions on that. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. And if you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Also, just a heads up, I'll be interviewing John Cooper, CEO of Nevi Brands, on Friday, March 29th. It's not going to be a live stream, so it'll be uploaded after the fact at some point during the weekend, more than likely. And they're behind the Major Drinks. So drinkmajor.com, that's their flagship brand, and they're the number one beverage in the U.S. John Bell, who is also a former board member and chair of Canopy Growth, is on as a director at Nevi Brands as well. So if anybody does have any questions, please let me know in the description below. And I'll do my best to get those answered. But like I said, you can keep an eye out, tick the bell, and you'll be notified when that video goes live. So this was the news that came out yesterday on March 26th. Organigram invests in U.S.-based open book extracts representing inaugural Jupiter investment. So North Carolina-based Open Book Extracts is a leading ingredient provider, product formulator, and manufacturer of hemp-derived extracts and products. So that's through their Jupiter pool investment. And they're pleased to announce a U.S. $2 million minority investment in Steady State LLC, which is Open Book Extracts in the form of a convertible note. So I'm not going to go through the entire article. Probably most people have already seen it, but great that they're focusing on the U.S. as we're looking for, the U.S. is also looking forward to potential reform, safe banking, rescheduling to possible Schedule 3, Florida coming online, Ohio, Pennsylvania. There was news today that Germany, which Organigram will be a huge beneficiary of that market, they signed it into law, MJ Act into law. So essentially on April 1st, Monday, it's going to go live. And then, no, it's not an April Fool's joke. That's actually happening. So there's so much percentage excise tax as well. As we know, Organigram said they paid about a third of the revenue went to excise taxes. And I just did a video on Oxley as well. They brought in, it was like $151 million for the year and $50 million went to excise taxes. So there's talks about save the date on April 16th. If you haven't seen that video, it's right here. I posted it a few days ago. Where was it? Essentially save the date April 16th because that is the federal budget. And that's when we could see a switch from a flat fee to a percentage fee. And this could end up adding 10, 20, 30, 40 million to some of these companies' bottom lines. Like Tilray said, it could add 70 to 80 million to their bottom line. So, for Organigram, we're looking probably somewhere around that 20 to 40 million, I would think. But that would be huge, right? That's going to basically make these companies profitable overnight if that were to happen. And Germany coming online, 83 million people, double the population in Canada, and then the rest of Europe likely to follow suit, and then the U.S., positive reform there. Oh man, the sky's the limit here. And this is looking really, really good, and we know they have their investment, 124 million from British American Tobacco, so lots of confidence there from Big Tobacco. So I think Organigram is going to be an absolute monster long-term as well. And you never know, during the blue chip mega merger phase, might merge with another company, so we'll see. But I really do like Organigram because they're 100% MJ focused. And, a lot of companies in the Canadian space are really starting to differentiate themselves and focus on one key area. S&Dl's got liquor retail and MJ retail. You got Tilray into liquor manufacturing and beer, craft beer, spirits, hemp business, distribution business, and MJ business, right? So High Tide only into franchised retailing. So, very differentiated businesses, and, Canopy into ancillary type of things with Storage and Bickle. And there's lots to like with all of these companies, and very well-balanced, diversified portfolio if you're looking at that. Also, Organigram today was down to about 30% on the news of pricing of an overnight marketed public offering. So this will be with ATB Securities, a lead underwriter, on behalf of itself and the syndicate of underwriters to sell 7.74 million, so 7.74 million units at a price of Canadian $3.23 per unit for a total gross proceeds of approximately 25 million. So stock was down, like I said, as a result, and you never want to see, but again, companies that are not profitable, right? We still know that there's going to be potential dilution for other names in the space, right? Don't be surprised if other names like Tilray, other names in the US, right? There's lots of companies in the US like Trulieve and some of these other companies that have a lot of debt and are not yet profitable. So there's going to be a lot of dilution because it's still hard for these companies to get access to traditional funding. And, maybe we get safe banking this year as well. Rescheduling to Schedule 3, that's only going to help remove the stigma and make it easier for these companies to join the traditional financial system, right? So TradFi. But as of right now, this is kind of smart, to be honest. And I know I'm going to ruffle a few feathers there because people are, what do you mean? This is dilution. This is terrible news. But when you think about it, this is just getting them by until, we get Pillar 1, medical in Germany, and then Pillar 2 sometime in 2025, 2026, more than likely 2025, in my opinion, back half of that. We get Pillar 2, which is adult use sales, rec sales, right, in Germany, and then focus on the US, right? And now they're focusing on the US with their investment in open book extracts, right? And there's only going to be more that come from that. But as I mentioned, down over 30% from the high of yesterday, and deal price was at 323, and we hit 275 today, and then closed at around 311. So we see if we're above the deal price, we usually go back down towards it. Sometimes if it's a raise, we go below it because it's bearish, right? If we were down here and we raised and the price was at 323, we might see the price go up, right? So it's usually the opposite, but we usually trend back to where that deal price was. So that was to be expected. But you have to think this is kind of smart on OGI's behalf because they announced this news after the stock was ripping, right? So they didn't announce it down here where that would have really created their stock price. They waited for, like, the low there was at 97 cents. So if you just do a rough estimate, stock was up from the low almost 200%. So you need to expect that when a stock runs 200%, that's when they announce the news, right? They're like, okay, well, we're going to raise. Let's wait until we get above around the deal price, and then they raise that above the deal price and cushions the blow a little bit. But I've been saying for a while now that OGI has been a laggard, and technically speaking, it's one of the weaker ones. I mean, 200% off the low is great, but take a look at Oxley. I think it's up like 300% off the low, or even more now since the last time I checked. But the only difference here with OGI is we haven't formed a monthly higher low and higher high. So show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. We still have yet to form a higher low, meaning we still need to lose the low of the previous monthly candle, form a higher low, then come up, form a higher high to give us a monthly uptrend, right? So if we take a look at a name like NOVC, Nova MJ, low, high, higher low. There's the higher low. We lost the low of the previous monthly candles, but it was still higher than this local low here. And then we got our higher high with a break of this resistance at 141, monthly uptrend confirmed. Then we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. Still a while away before we see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on OGI, and that makes sense because it's still a while away before we confirm a monthly uptrend. Cron just confirmed a monthly uptrend here in Canada. Lots of US names in uptrends as well. I did a post on community tab here on YouTube. If you just scroll down, it says list of names in monthly uptrends. Where is it? Right here. So Cureleaf, this was over 1 month ago. Cureleaf, AYR, Green Thumb, Trueleaf, MSOS, IPR, Verano, TerraSense, C21, Grown Rogue, Nova, MJ. So now we can add to that list Cron, because we just have our low, high here at 264, higher low, and then we had a higher high, 273, broke 264, so monthly uptrend confirmed. The next name that's more than likely going to confirm an uptrend is SNDL. We're knocking on 236, so low, high, higher low. We need our higher high, so 236. Today we hit 219, so we're less than like 8% away or so, 8-9% I think it is from confirming a monthly uptrend. Then high tide's probably going to be next. We have our low, high, higher low. Need our higher high, so we're about a little under 10% away. And then it's probably going to be Tilray. Tilray already has its higher low. Now we just need our higher high, so we have our low, high, higher low, and now we need the higher high. 340 key resistance, break that, and monthly uptrend confirmed. And we're getting above EMA 12 here as well. So we're about 37-ish% away from confirming a monthly uptrend on Tilray. And then OGI, and then you got names like ACB and CGC. This is all coming off the low. They haven't even started their higher low or really got enough of a bounce here on the monthly time frame to give us a top out here on the monthly time frame. CGC's kind of giving us a nice move here on the monthly, but we're not allowing for very much room for a monthly higher to low to form. And actually, this was all coming off the low, so we would still need to come down. We're at least 2 or 3 months away on CGC before confirming a monthly uptrend, whereas OGI could do it in I'd say maybe even 3 or 4 on CGC, but we might be able to do it in 3. I'd say OGI might be able to do it in 2, because we have 23 hours left in this monthly candle. So to start April, because Friday's closed, right? Good Friday. So US and Canadian stock markets are closed. So tomorrow is our last trading day. And then potentially in April, we could come down. If we lose the low there at 185 USD on the NASDAQ, then that would be monthly consolidation underway. We would look for a higher low there compared to 97 cents. And then we would need our higher high, right? So we're at least 2 or 3 months away. I would say we could do it in 2 potentially on OGI. So for comparison, Tilray has already bounced. So we're here on Tilray. On Tilray right here is where we are on OGI, where we have our low and our high. We still need the higher low and then the higher high. So we're right here on OGI. We still need this phase right here. So OGI, low, high, maybe expect a higher low somewhere around 170, 150. That could be a nice entry. Again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. But low, high, maybe form a higher low around 170, 150. Could be a nice entry there for a long-term entry if you're looking for some exposure. And then we need the higher high. So like I said, at least 2 or 3 months. Could do it in 2, but I'd say 2 or 3 on OGI, and then names like ACB, CGC, probably 3 or 4 months away from confirming a monthly uptrend. But the more names that confirm uptrends in Canada and the US, the better. Retailers, producers, ETFs, we want to see all of that. And MSOS just confirmed a monthly uptrend for the first time in history as well. But with that being said, we also had a stochastic bear cross as well, and that usually happens first, and is usually a clue that we could see some downside. And then, as this saying goes, show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. We got the dilution news today, and we're just looking for that monthly bounce to top out in a higher low, and that's exactly what we're getting. Now, watch for a potential close below the 10-week moving average there at 212 next, and then a weekly MACD bear cross. If that happens, more than likely going to start monthly consolidation and look for that monthly higher low around 170, 150 USD. We also topped out right at the 100 weekly, so another area of very strong resistance. So again, we have the 200 at 542, but we probably weren't going to go there in one straight shot without confirming a monthly uptrend. So watch for a back test of the 50 weekly there around 163. What did I say? 170, 150? That's perfect, right? It's not a coincidence that all of these levels and moving averages line up, right? It's in the ether, right? It's almost like it's programmed to happen, right? And it's not a coincidence that we're seeing excise tax percentage switch more than likely around the same time it gets rescheduling to Schedule 3 in the US and removal of 280E, right? Taxation is a big thing hindering the industry. And then we also have the 200-day moving average there at 155. So you can't make this stuff up, right? Again, if you're looking for entries, watch for a pullback to and a monthly higher low around that 50 weekly around 163, and the 200 there around 155. The 200-day moving average. We just had a golden cross as well with the 50 and the 200, so it's looking really good. But like I said, we still need that monthly higher low. One more potential pullback down to around 170, 150, I think could happen USD, and that would just be a buy the dip opportunity. And I'll be buying that dip for sure. All right, going to end it there. It's Rob with Pow Group. Let me know what you think of this news. Were you surprised? Were you caught off guard by this today on the dilution and raise by OGI? Always love hearing from you. We'll continue the conversation in the comment section below. But thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rob with Pow Group. We'll see you again on the next video.